Hey. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pressure Talk. It's your brother Nilly Bay, aka Mr. 23 and 6. We back in the building, Uptown, stand up, St. Louis, stand up. I'm on my dirty Midwest shit. What's up, man? How was everybody weekend, man? You know what I'm saying? Y'all have fun, you enjoy yourself, y'all bust a couple nuts, you feel what I'm saying? Make a few babies. What y'all got going on? Y'all still up in arms about the political atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? All these executive orders rolling out, shit going on in Cali. How y'all doing out here, man? It's cold in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at. How y'all feeling? Well, today, man, I'm very excited. It's could kind of be seen as strange or weird to be excited about something like that, but I'm very excited because I've been wanting to do something like this for a minute, and this is a prime example of why, you know, as males, we should be very careful of what ideas we allow to aid in our decision making. Now, I'm going to play an audio from this podcast called No Fugazi. The host of the show, his name is Cooley. And on this particular episode, he was debating Princilla. This is the woman who used to be out on the social media sites with the hats on and used to talk about what men is and what men ain't. And she ended up running into Charleston White, and got humbled. I hadn't heard nothing from her in a while. And then when I started back hearing stuff from her, she kind of changed her tune a little bit, well, actually a lot of bit, but, she maintained her, her educational integrity, you know what I'm saying, as a woman. In her approach to the situation. She did what she had to do. She ran across, what she didn't know was out there in men, and she had to go and reevaluate the situation. Now, in this particular debate, this is a prime example to show you what happens when you take a underdeveloped mind of a grown man and put it in front of a fully developed mind of a woman. And the thing is you have to understand, we have to understand as males, when you allow individuals like him, the one comedian dude who likes to push the little horn he got, whenever he, is making a point towards a female, and all these cats do the same thing. They follow Kevin Samuels' playbook, where basically they have found a bunch of low IQ females. I mean, no disrespect when I say that. They find a bunch of Section 8 babies, and they find the ones that are outspoken. The ones that, would be a real problem if they had somebody in their life that, influenced them and inspired them to focus more on education. But they didn't. So they still enacting their spirit, you know what I'm saying? But it's not educated. The energy is erratic. And they know this. So they'll get these females on their show and they'll, pardon the body, they'll give them loaded questions. Because they already got an answer, and they walk the female into the answer because they already know what she's gonna say. Not because they recorded it or scripted it. It's because they have an idea of what a female is and how she will react to certain situations. And it's not hard to get a person to walk into something like that if they're uneducated. And that's what he tried to do to Princilla, and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna show how he's gonna become very immature. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna show that his mind is still childish. And I'm gonna break it down at the end, you know what I'm saying? But just bear with me, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a lengthy video, but I feel like it's something we need to discuss, man, because as a people, again, this this was the perfect conversation because the conversation was masculinity. I mean, patriarchy versus matriarchy. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is they couldn't get, you know what I'm saying, to the meat and potatoes because Cooley was being childish. So let's get to it.
I'm Princilla, the Queen Maker. I'm out here in Houston, Texas. All right, Princilla, the Queen Maker, out here in Houston, Texas. So Princilla reached out to my team and was like, "Hey, I want to do a show." I'm like, "Okay, well, I do debate nights on Wednesdays, and I do, the girl shows on Fridays. Let's do a debate." So we got it. We made it happen. Okay, Princilla, let's get a little bit of your background. What do you do? Anything you want the audience to know about yourself, you can go ahead and, speak about your background now. Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I'm a life coach, women's empowerment, and I'm the author of a book called 41 Shades of Men, The Pursuit to Subdue and Use You. Also, Love, Men, and Manipulation Dakota Workshop. So, I have a background in biology, psychology, human behavior, and things of that sort. And so I teach through those mechanisms. Okay, cool. And so you have a background in, you said, biology? Yes. Okay. And you have your degree in that? Nope. No degree. Have you ever worked in any fields with practicing in any biology or anything, or no? No, just the labs at school. However, just the labs at school. Yeah. Okay. My main focus is psychology. So, given psychology background mainly, I've been in sales, top sales in every industry I've ever sold in. So, um, on top of that, human behavior. So I've been analyzing that for about 25 years. So, no, I don't need a degree for that. I put in over 10,000 hours in each one of these subjects, so I think I'm pretty good to go. Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to know exactly what you did since you stated that you are a specialist in biology and psychology. I want to know if you had any degrees and stuff like that. Okay, cool. So the topic for today, everyone that's watching, is going to be patriarchy versus matriarchy, and what is best for society, which is a net negative or net positive for.
All right, I'm gonna pause it right here real quick. Now, see, this is what I mean. For some reason, we've been brainwashed into believing that in order for our education, our understanding of things, our ability to comprehend things, in order for that to be valid, it had to somehow be um, certified and approved by the European system. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. This is where he really started downhill because he tried to attack the education, and when she stood on him, how she stood on him, no, he really got to like, yeah, all right, so let's go.
And, Princilla, I'm going to go ahead and leave it to you. I believe that you will be on the side of defending the matriarchy. So go ahead and, if you want to go ahead and give an opening, now's your time. Well, that's an actual incorrect assumption because I believe that there needs to be a combination of the two. The reason for that is because male and female have both different natures. And a male has to be in a patriarchal setup because that is what his biology is designed to be under. However, in order to facilitate growth and sustainability for the planet, an egalitarian system is much more conducive for the planet, society, and communities. When you're under a patriarchal system, what you have is complete dominance, which actually creates a whole host of issues that can be analyzed throughout nature. Okay. So you said that men and women think that we need both a patriarchy and matriarchy system, but then you went to say that we need a system that's not actual, like you know patriarchy. It should be egalitarian. It has to be a combination of the two. So it has to be a combination of the two. Go ahead and explain. So I got a question for you. So egalitarianism. I mean, the communists tried that and it failed. So why would you take on that idea to try to equalize everything when male and females aren't equal? Well, that's not what egalitarianism means. And this is okay, again, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Well, again, that is the definition of it, but what's your definition of it? Again, there needs to be
Again, he went to the European.
Now, what do I mean
to
by
define it.
combination of the two? Do you agree that males and females should be educated in two different setups of the schools? Boys should have their own schools and girls should have theirs. Do you agree with that? No. Well, I'll tell you what, this is a problem because males and females are different and they cannot be trained the same. So if you believe that males and females are different, then why would you advocate for something that does not facilitate the difference between the two? Yeah, so you said that, do I believe that, male and female should have the same schooling? No, separate schooling. Separate schooling. Okay, yes. Separate schooling. I said no. I said no because you didn't give me more information.
You didn't let her.
Is because if we're going from
she tried it first, but you wouldn't let her.
All of elementary school to middle school to high school, then to college. At the end of the day, currently the system is what it is right now, where it's both male and female. They are in school together. So you're saying that? Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Would you say that is failing for women? There's more women that has education, that's getting higher education than men. So is it failing for women and for men? That is because the school systems are more designed to facilitate females. So, and they're not designed to facilitate males.
Facts.
Hence why the males are failing. And so they need separate schooling. If that wasn't the case, then you wouldn't have Dr. Umar up here running around speaking about making a boys' school. So at the end of the day, so I could agree with that part of it. So
just cut her off.
Well, here's my stance on it, right?
Then let her complete her thought.
Stats show that women currently, right now, with the current system, they're getting higher education than males, right? So I can agree that there should...
Which is proof to her point that, the educational system is geared towards females. So there needs to be a different structure for the males. That's what she's really getting at when it's all said and done. That's what she's really not saying that there should be separate schools. She's saying there should be a separate structure when it comes to the teaching. But he's going to force the conversation to a whole nother level. I mean, a whole nother area.
Changes with the school system. Now, that doesn't mean that we need to separate both male and female from the school. Oh, you get what I'm saying?
She never said that.
Changes in the school. Let me finish. There are all girls schools and there are all male.
Now you see what he just did when she asked the question, even though he interrupted her. When he asked the question and she was trying to respond, he hit her with the "let me finish," and the way he said it was like he's getting agitated. So just check the childishness. Just catch it.
But let me just finish. So you said that. Well, I think that what's best is that we have a separation of the two. Currently, our system definitely needs to be updated. Our education system does need to be updated, where they have better systems in place that is more suitable for men. That part I do agree with. I don't agree with the fact that we need to fully separate the two. That's the part I don't agree with. So that's...
She never said that, but okay.
But okay.
Let's see where it goes.
You're good. You wanted to make a point? Males and females have completely different brain wiring, and they need their own schools and setups to facilitate their natures.
Facts.
Now, if we are dealing in truth and reality, then we can agree that there is a difference between the two. And the current setup is causing a lot of dysfunction between both parties. So clearly, a patriarchy is not working either because it is failing, because the United States itself is a patriarchal system. Got you. So let me just ask you a question.
Just cut her off again.
My stance is this. It sounds silly that you're making a big claim to say, hey,
now he's resorting to name calling.
Men and women being in school together.
Sign of lower intelligence.
Instead of fixing the problems that's in that school, let's just separate the two. Would you use this same logic to a relationship? People have relationships, both men and women, and they're in a relationship, and there's problems in that relationship, in the household. Would you use that same logic and say that men and women need to be separated from the home? I absolutely would, because based on the studies, it doesn't matter if you don't like that. The question...
Now hold on before I go on. I can't. I'm not tech savvy enough to where I can do it how the big cats do it. You know, where you can see it on the screen, so you can see his face. So I got to describe it. But when she just said that, he just made a gesture like "got you," because this is where he wanted the conversation to go. Because this is what they focus on. Him, Kevin Samuels, the one comedian dude, the fat dude. This is what they focus on. They want you to submit in a relationship in the way that they feel you should submit. And this is where he's trying to get the narrative. But watch how the childishness come in when this queen stand on him.
The first question is this. Okay. Are we looking for a solution to a problem, or are we looking to just go back and forth about who's right and who's wrong? Because what I just presented to you was a fact about the difference between males and females. Now, can we agree that there is a major difference between males and females? Yes or no? Yeah, but the correlation doesn't
Yes,
equal.
but
So you're trying to correlate something and say, well, male and females are different. Like this is the cause of our differences. And you're trying to correlate that to, well, since we are different, we shouldn't have relationships, male and female, even living in the same home, or male and female even being taught in the same school. No. That doesn't make sense to me. So I have a question for you. Okay. If you don't mind. If you don't mind, if I ask you. Okay, sure, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You ladies first. If there I'll be a gentleman.
You trying to be asshole.
Difference, just like there's a difference in each child, and they need to be taught differently because what works for one does not work for all.
Facts.
If you understand that, then we understand that even smaller classrooms that focus more on individuals work better than classrooms with a lot of individuals that learn differently. Do you agree with that? Okay, that still doesn't correlate to separating the genders.
So answer the question, man.
The truth about training. We're talking about training people differently, and if males and learn differently because males need more physical activity. This is a fact. This is not something
Facts.
as a male.
Facts.
I don't even understand why you would be disagreeing with that. Yeah, no, you're not. You're missing the point that I'm disagreeing with. So let me state my position against your position, right? The disagreement is this. You're saying that, well, men and women are different. I agree. Everyone knows that. Any person in their right mind knows that, right? Since men and women are different, it causes problems when we are either being educated together or if we are in a relationship together. Since there are problems in school and in relationships, we should separate the two, meaning removing the man and the woman in different schools and removing the man and the woman into separate homes. My position, that's your position. My position is that that's illogical. What we should do, right, is actually work on our differences. So you stated something that, well, like the slow classes and stuff. Well, the slow classes are with people that need some extra help. It'll be an extra teacher, or they'll minimize how many kids can be in a school. I mean, how many kids can be in that class. So instead of having 20 students, it'll be 10 students and 2 extra teachers, right? And that would produce more help. I would agree. That does produce more help. You good? Okay, cool. I would agree that does produce more help, but you still wouldn't have to separate the genders to get that done. You can still keep the genders in the same school to get that done. You get what I'm saying? So let's say if there's currently how it is now, males and females are in school together. Let's say if the boys are behind because of they need some, we got more testosterone, so we need a longer gym, or we need, certain different games in the classroom to keep us focused, whatever it may be. I'm not a teacher or anything, right? But let's say if there's something that we need currently in society, which I do agree with, since there are more women, graduating college than there are men. Obviously, it does need the education system does need some change. I'm just saying that it doesn't need the change that you're speaking about, the change of completely separating the genders. We can still do it in the same school, but just change up the systems that we currently have.
All right, now I'm gonna continue because there's some more of this, but I have to disagree with this point. You know what I'm saying? Because we know for a fact that when you put boys and girls in the classroom together, they don't focus how they supposed to. If you got all girls in the classroom, there's no boys to focus on. If you got all boys in the classroom, there's no girls to act out to get their attention for you to get focused on. You focus on the tasks that's in front of you, your schoolwork. It's a different type of animal. You ain't got to take them out of the schools, but I feel that position that she's putting out there. Well, I'm gonna get to that at the end. Hold on, let me.
Does that make sense? Instead of like, oh, you can speak. Go ahead.
I just want to make sure I can speak. Okay. Now, you said what I said is illogical. Are there any examples of any religion, culture, or school of thought that implements a separation between the genders? Any?
Now, this is a clear question. Watch what he do.
Your question is there any schools or I don't understand the question.
You said that what I said is illogical.
You better repeat it.
Correct. Because
because I'm giving you every opportunity to speak, but you keep cutting me off. Now, remember, the rules were you let me land my plane, I let you land yours, and I'm doing exactly.
Rules of debate.
You asked me a question and you didn't want to answer, so I was going to answer your question. Okay, so complete your question and then I'll speak. Go ahead.
Okay. Are there any examples anywhere in the world that roll by a school of thought to separate the genders? Anywhere in the world?
Is there any? Let me just make sure I got the question right. Is there anywhere in the world that deals with in schools? That's what we're speaking about, where they separate the genders.
Anywhere.
Anywhere. I mean, are you speaking about? So let me get some clarification to the question.
Because if
I don't really understand the question.
Yeah. See, again.
If I'm illogical, then there would be no institution, no country, anywhere that would facilitate a practice of separating the genders, giving the genders their own spaces. Because if
there you go. That's a more.
He understood it when she said it, man.
Yeah. So there's many.
He just didn't want to answer the question.
Different bathrooms, different locker rooms.
Now look.
Different sports. Multitude of different things.
Schools, okay? Because this idea where you're saying that I'm illogical to separate males and females out of schools is illogical on your part because they do exist, okay? And so even in the Nation of Islam, they literally separate them, they put them on two different sides of the entire the church, whatever you call it, the mosque, okay? You have schools where you have all boys schools and all girls schools. Okay, so this idea that what you're saying is that I'm illogical is really just an intellectual bash. It's a play. It's a lower on my intelligence, which I don't like that.
Which he was.
What
He was trying to be funny.
Was have an intelligent conversation with you based on things that actually make sense. And the one thing that absolutely makes sense is the fact that men and women are different, which means that they are oil and water. And one thing about oil and water is it does not mix. That is a fact. And with males and females mixing, guess what? It is eternal chaos. And you all have been having the same conversations for the last 15 years without a single solution to your conversation.
Facts.
So obviously, what you all are talking about online ain't working. So what I'm doing is proposing a different solution that doesn't sound cookie cutter and just it's a whirlwind of trauma and trash. Okay, so there needs again to be a combination of the two, matriarchy and patriarchy, because the male is wired for dominance. He cannot be in a situation that does not allow for a dominance hierarchy. You don't need that. So you can't get rid of patriarchy. As long as you have men, there will be a patriarchy. Okay? So I don't know what conversation you were looking for, but I'm a person of solutions. I'm not here to debate you. I'm here to have a conversation with you, sir.
Yeah, so to get some clarification.
Handled it with grace and class.
You're making a micro, so you're speaking about schools. And you're saying, well, there's problems when males and females are in school together.
All right, now I'm finna explain to y'all what he's finna do. He's finna attempt to critique something in a way that has nothing to do with what she's saying, because he's trying to force her into a certain narrative and she's not going.
So that's a macro. Then you speak about micro. You say that, oh well, you asked me a question where there's ever been schools, and in these schools they separate the boys and the girls. That's on a macro level. So on a macro level, yeah, we have different locker rooms. On a macro level, yeah, we have different sports. On a micro level, yeah, we have different bathrooms and different locker rooms. On a micro level, yeah, we play different sports. On a macro level, right? On a macro level, there are currently already all girls schools. There are currently already all boys schools. And those schools they do what they need to do. On a macro level, you're proposing, right, to have only boys.
Now hold on. What he didn't do. What he didn't do was break down or give any statistics on the success rate of the males who, pardon the body, graduate from these all boys schools. And is it higher than, less than, or equal to the graduation rate of the all girls school? He didn't put that out there. He just said, oh, they just do what they do. There's a reason for that.
Schools and only girls schools. Not only that, you're proposing to have males and females, husband and wife, live separately. Do I have that correct?
Let me ask you this question, because there is.
Wait.
There is a
just
such thing.
Just answer that question, though.
Sir, there is a such thing as living apart together, and those relationships have found to be much more healthy than those who cohabitate. Okay.
So I don't have any evidence on that. You don't have any evidence on that.
Actually, I do.
So actually, answer the question.
There is research on it.
Okay, now listen. I'm gonna go on. You see the petty childishness. You know what I'm saying? He made a point with no statistics, no facts. She's making a point where she actually has statistics and facts, and he's trying to shut her down. He don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes against his narrative, because he's with the patriarchal system and the cohabitation. But I'm going to get into that when this is over with.
Princilla, answer the question.
Sir.
Check out how he's trying to bully her.
Question so we have it clear.
She just answered the question.
Separatism is the key, because men and women
because we don't mix.
You don't mix.
Okay, got it. Okay, so
evidence when y'all are working without chaos. Just say we don't
mix.
No, I don't agree with that point, but
look in the mirror. Your mother and your father created you. We mix. When I look in the mirror, my mother and my father created me.
See, now he being petty.
What I'm telling you is that
he being petty.
We all have differences. The thing is,
okay, now again, this conversation had nothing to do with whether we can mix biologically. We know this. This clown that admitted that males and females are different. The concept of a female body being different from a male's body, to say that idea can't persist in emotions, you know what I'm saying, can't persist in mental development, that there is a difference, and you don't want to accept that because you want this cohabitation. You want this patriarchal system because the patriarchal system gives you 100% control over the situation. And what she's trying to explain is our existence will not accept that, because the planet we live on is a female. It has no masculine mate. I'm just saying, but let's get back to the content.
To run away from differences. What happens is when women get in leadership positions, they want to break up things. They want to separate things. That's why when a woman is leading,
what proof does he have of this?
If she's leading, it will be the end of that.
What proof does he have of this? That's all I want to know. He presented no facts, no statistics, no nothing. But let's keep it going.
She will cause separation. When a man is leading, he does not cause separation. He keeps it together. So at the end of the day, what you're speaking about, that we don't mix that.
So I guarantee you that over 90%, I'm gonna say about 90% of the single mothers in our community, even though the baby daddy didn't have no real concepts of leadership, I guarantee you she allowed him to control the situation. And in doing so, he broke the home. We have no evidence of females doing this on a mass level, my guy. Nobody. But let's get back to the content.
Nonsensical. It doesn't make sense from a biological. You said that you're a biologist, so how can you even speak about that? We don't mix. We mix perfectly. What are you talking about? It's the perfect mix.
Sir, can we have a logical discussion?
We've been having a logical discussion, but you've been speaking
told you childish.
Nonsense about we don't mix.
I'm going to ask you to stop being childish just one time.
Called it before I even seen it.
I fully let you speak and complete your thought out.
You did.
And I just rebutted it.
You did.
I'm trying to figure out what you think is mixing, because what you just said is the activity of a virus. Okay.
Got it.
So,
Princilla, you just said something that
let her finish.
You have data that there are relationships.
I tell you what, you go ahead and talk, and I will just
cool. Yeah. Listen to this real quick. Listen to this. You said something. You said that I have data that men and women in relationships.
Now, again, this is the main reason why she's saying what she's saying, my guy. How are you not getting this? You want to control this narrative so bad to where you're engaging in childish activity as a man. As a man. You call yourself a man, bro. A fully developed man. Come on, man, you tripping. You even call yourself a high vibrational, no, not high vibrational, a high valued male. That's what you consider yourself. But you can't even have a conversation with a female, somebody who you feel is inferior to you. That's why you pushing this narrative. But let's get back to the content.
When they are separated from the house, they actually thrive in it, and it does real good. I have more data than you have, because there are many marriages, male and female, living in a home, and they thrive and do amazing. Actually, we have facts on it. A nuclear family with a man and a woman and children living in a home, they do good. Single mother households leads to degeneracy. So what are you speaking about?
What led to the single mother household, my guy? Was it the male or the female? Most single mother households happen because the male stepped out on the female. He couldn't even honor a simple agreement, or he couldn't create an agreement that would allow him to do what he do so he can still be the person he's supposed to be. I'm just saying, your point is making no sense, my dude, at all. Like, you're making no sense in this situation, man. You're coming off as petty, bro, and childish, like she said.
Now you can say that. Well, there can be it can be fully.
And another, but like this goes to show why the patriarchal system don't work, man. Because at the end of the day, we're not gonna let nobody come in and control us as males. So why do you feel like a female should allow you to just come in and overbear her with what? Because you may not be worthy of that. Because you most definitely ain't, bro. You're not ready at all. But let's get to the content.
They're living in a separate home, and then the kids go to this home at some point, and the kids go to that home at some point. That's not healthy for the kids.
All right, I'm gonna disagree with that. That's a lie. When you do have the father in the child's life, whether the father's in the house or not, those kids stand a better chance at survival in this world on a positive level than those who don't have a father in the house and he's not present at all. That's different, bro. Cut it with the nonsense, bro.
Points would say, I would say that that's not healthy for the kids. But anyway,
that's what you would say.
Actually, I got a question for you about this because you spoke about egalitarian.
But who are you? What is your degrees? Like, what school did you go to? What part of the educational system did the Europeans certify for you that made you feel like you have the position to stand up here and make this position as one of absolution?
How does all of this tie into egalitarianism and making things equal? Because that was your main point. So how does
Laugh at him, Queen. You arguing with a kid.
Are you saying that the separation?
You arguing with a kid.
You can just sit up here and just ask questions to the wall, Fugazi, because you're being real Fugazi right now. And so when you're done talking,
yeah, hit it with his shit.
Let me ask you some questions and talk logically. I will engage with you.
Well, no, I've been active listening to everything you say.
You haven't been. You've been defensive listening.
I asked you a question. You gave your little stance. You gave your stance.
Look. No, hold on. Look. Now check out what he just did. He petty as hell. You gave your little stance. Come on, man. Like, it's a respectable conversation. Why are you being this way? Hold on, nobody. This is what I'm saying, bro. Why are y'all listening to these clowns, man? Why are y'all listening to these clowns, man? He's a girl, bro. He's a girl. He can't even handle a conversation with a female. He want to be dominant so bad. Come on, man.
Patriarchy and the matriarchy should be mixed, and it should be egalitarianism, and that's what I questioned you on. And then you brung it to school and stuff like that. And then I'm like, well, now my question for you is, how does all of this make things equal?
First and foremost, sir, I don't even preach equality because men and women.
Well, you said egalitarianism.
Sir. Do you want me to drop here? Because one thing I'm not going to sit up here and do is have you interrupt me every 2 seconds every time I say a single word. Okay? So you're going against your own rules. All right? So I'm not going to sit up here and I'm not going to sit up here and deal with no child. Now you either going to talk to me like
checking, sis.
All right?
Checking.
You're going to talk to me like an adult and you're going to have an intelligent conversation, or we can just end this right now.
Okay? I just have simple questions for you. That's all.
What you're doing is interrupting me every time I say just a word. Okay? And so this is not a conversation. See,
you know what? I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak and
you keep saying
go
that.
ahead and get it all out, and then let me know if then can I ask you a question?
Well, you've been asking a million questions back to back, so why don't you go ahead and do that, okay? And then I'm just gonna be quiet and let you run the show, because that's what you want to do. All right, go ahead.
Well, are you actually gonna answer my questions or no?
I don't know what you're asking me, because every time I get ready to answer you, you cut me off.
That is untrue.
Listen, y'all heard it yourself.
Some of my questions,
y'all listening to it.
Okay, I'll do it. Let's do it this way, right? So I'll let you
more
go
rules.
ahead and I'll write the questions down real quick so I don't forget.
Everybody can see that you're not letting me speak. I'm just saying, everybody can see that you're not letting me speak.
Yeah, they can see it.
I'll let you speak, but
no, you're not. You're allowing her to speak.
So I have it. But okay, we're speaking about patriarchy and matriarchy, and you said that it's better when it's mixed, a little bit of both. You also said that, well, I think that it should be egalitarianism. The definition that I have of egalitarian is a person who believes in equality of all people. So my question is, how does all of this lead to equality if you want to separate the genders in all facets, in the school and at the home?
Sir, life is about equity, okay? Life is about equity and not equality. However, when you're dealing with people, you have to give everybody...
Sorry,
okay,
that's a red herring. You just moved away from...
You see what I'm saying?
You said egalitarianism, not what we speaking about. You said equity. That's something totally different.
I do not have time for this, sir, because every time I start talking, you interrupt.
Yeah, but you trying to commit a red herring. Look, she off of here, bro.
All right, now for y'all that don't know, a red herring is a bird. It's a bird they used to when they used to hunt foxes back in the day, there was a group that, was against it. So what they would do to throw the hounds off, they would kill a red heron, a bird. You know what I'm saying? I guess it gave up the scent of a fox. I don't know. And the dogs would go after the red heron instead of going after the fox. So that's what a red heron is. Now, this is what I'm talking about, man. He decided to play word games. Well, you said egalitarian, whatever word they use, and she used the word equality. Well, basically, not equality, equity. Where she's basically saying that in order for us to have a form of equality that is not just acceptable but embraceable by both sexes. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Now, what he didn't do was he didn't give a position on what he was, whether he was with a patriarchal system or whether he was with a matriarchal system, because that was the debate. Well, she killed him when she merged him, and like it's supposed to be a mixture of both, which is equality. You know what I'm saying? He tried to use that like, well, you said this about a mixture of both, but then you saying that they should be separated. No, she's saying that when it comes to education, when it comes to understanding one another, yes, we do have to be separated in order for us to get a full understanding of how we become better together. Now, as far as the cohabitating versus the living apart thing, that's up for debate. But basically what she's saying is the current system, the way that it is not working. That's what she was saying. We never got to that because he wanted to be petty and childish. Because in his mind, he's for the patriarchal system, where the men dominate and control everything. That's what he wants. Period, point blank. But what he didn't mention and what she didn't mention is the matriarchal system existed in this world for thousands of years before the patriarchal system even came into play. The matriarchal system is the system that gave birth to modern day civilization. It was a matriarchal system. The Egyptian dynasties, these were matriarchal systems. Even it persisted all the way until current day. England has always been known for her queen, not her king. Even though they say, well, she never had a king, but it was always recognized for the queen. The queen had power. If you watch these movies, the Game of Thrones and all that, the woman was always the one that made sure shit was the way it was supposed to be. Why? Because we destroy shit. We destroy shit. At the end of the day, bro, if you look at a fight between two males versus a fight between two females, the fight between the two males is going to be more dangerous and more bloody than the fight between the two females. Y'all can say, well, because the bodies are bigger or whatever the case may be. But the point she was making, man, is especially when it comes to the educational system. In order for us to be more effective in this world economy, as far as when it comes to economy, equity, as he said, yes, we do need to learn how to go and properly educate ourselves in the proper perspectives catered towards our gender so that we can thrive. Because remember, like I said, they talked about the all-boys schools and the all-girls schools, but they're not saying whether these schools have a lower success rate or a greater success rate than the schools that are co-ed. They're not saying, he didn't make no points. He didn't put no statistics out there. He had one definition that he wrote off of. And he tried to use that to push her into a corner. Point nobody, because this is what he wanted. He wanted her to say she was on the side of matriarchy, so he can defend the side of patriarchy. But when she said a mixture of both, that threw his whole system in the whack. So now, whatever argument or debate that he had to counteract whatever it is she had to say went out the window. So now he got to wing it. This is what happened. He had a meltdown, basically. He had a meltdown. Because in his mind, he had rehearsed debating her as a matriarch. Because he didn't watch her and seen how she get down in his mind, he assumed that, okay, she's about a females running society. I got her. Because they so used to dealing with, Section 8 babies who don't have no real comprehension of the psychological development of a society as a whole. Not just individually, but as a whole. Because our development psychologically is not just individual. You know what I'm saying? It's also collective. We have a collective consciousness, is what they call it. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, man, like, I was excited for this, man, because, hey, Cooley, man, Kevin Samuels is turning in his grave right now. Like, bro, he is so upset with you. So upset. Bro, you went so far off script. You went so far off the script, bro. You were supposed to stick to a female that was on Section 8. You wasn't supposed to go and get a female who was highly educated. Don't do that no more. You make us look bad with your goofy ass. Well, it's Brother Nilly Bay, aka Mr. 23 and 6, Neptown stand up, St. Louis stand up. On my Dirty Midwest shit, man. Like, subscribe, comment, you know what I'm saying? You can find me on YouTube at Derek Nearly 4590. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, comment, please comment, bro, because I love the debate. I love it. Just please comment. Please comment on this, because I know it's a lot of ones that follow him, and I would love to have this conversation. I'm on Facebook at Nilly Bay. I'm on YouTube. TikTok is Nilly Bay. Instagram is Nilly Bay. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with your boy. Hey.